Willie, when you heard the news today, what was your first reaction? You think this is too harsh?
Well, I knew it would be harsh, and after a long, exhausting process, it's just beginning. I mean, this is just step one. I'm sure the appeals, there'll be a couple of different appeals. One by Tom Brady, and of course, I believe, I'm taking a guess, I haven't, talked to anybody, but one by the team as well. When you get fined the most in NFL history, $1 million, and you lose a first and a fourth-round pick, and you listen, to Troy Vincent's letter saying that the team and the coaches were exonerated, then I don't understand where that came in. But it is what it is as far as that goes. And I figure if they found an infraction on Tom, then they were going to come hard, just because, one, the magnitude, all the attention, the pressure, the outside pressure, everything that's been going on. I mean, this has been a big deal for the last few weeks.
We know in the letter from Troy Vincent to the Patriots that the league feels that there is evidence that shows that Tom Brady is responsible for deflating the football. Deion Branch, your former teammate, just came on the show and said that Tom Brady is not a cheater. Where do you fall in assessing this, knowing everything you know and reading everything you've read?
It's tough. I've never known Tom to be a cheater or cheat at anything, but I heard what he said, and when you – I wish that in coming out when Tom first talked about this situation, he would have said, I like to adjust the footballs the way I like it. And that's my preference. I think this is something that he's done his whole career. I think this is something that all quarterbacks do, whether it's sanding the balls down, taking a little bit out, putting a little bit in. I'm not a quarterback. I don't touch the football. I'm not involved in any of that process. But from what I'm hearing and talking to other quarterbacks, everybody likes the footballs a certain way. If he would have came out from point blank and said, yeah, I like to adjust my footballs, I like it with a little less air, and if that in case caused some type of infraction or took the PSI down, then that's something that I have to deal with and be accountable and be responsible for. So I don't think that Tom goes out and deliberately, I played with the guy. He's a friend. He's a brother, an ex-teammate, somebody I respect on and off the field. I just think it's a process that he's done over and over again, and he didn't feel like that was something that was going to affect 4 games and the team getting fined and losing draft picks.
Hey, Willie, it's Dan. I just want to read to you what Robert Kraft had to say in his statement today. I think you'll find it pretty interesting. He said, despite our conviction that there was no tampering with the footballs, it was our intention to accept any discipline levied by the league. Today's punishment, however, far exceeded any reasonable expectation. It was based completely on circumstantial rather than hard or conclusive evidence. We are humbled by the support of Patriots that they have received from their fans throughout the world. We recognize our fans' concern regarding the NFL's penalties and share in their disappointment in how one-sided this investigation was handled, as well as the dismissal of the scientific evidence supported by the ideal gas law in the final report. This is the last thing they said here. Tom Brady has our unconditional support. Our belief in him has not wavered. Anything there surprise you at all, Willie?
No, Mr. Kraft is prided himself on doing things the right way. He's been a catalyst for the NFL and for the other owners, and moving forward with Tom, I know he's going to support his players. They knew some type of discipline was going to be handed down. I think everybody did, and for me, I knew it was going to come. It was going to come with a heavy hand. Like I said, just because there was a lot of pressure on the league office to make an example and to not show any favoritism towards Tom or the Patriots or Mr. Kraft. When you listen, I've sat back and I've listened to a lot of analysts, a lot of ex-players, a lot of fans talk, and I mean, you kind of got the idea that they was comparing this to Bounty Gate. A lot of different things are out there. I tried to remove myself from being a Patriot. I said, what if this was a guy like Jay Cutler or Andy Dalton or another quarterback? How would I look at this? And the end result for me was the same thing. Like, I still think regardless of the quarterback, regardless of the situation or team. I played the sport for 15 years. I know what goes into winning these games. I just didn't think the punishment fit the crime.
Willie, now we look ahead at the 4 games that Tom Brady will miss, starting with the Steelers, then going to the Bills in Buffalo, taking on the Jaguars, then a bye week, and then they head to Dallas to take on a Cowboys team. How do you see these first 4 weeks of the season, 5 weeks going without Tom Brady and with Jimmy Garoppolo in?
Well, when you talk about not having a Super Bowl MVP and you got to face some of the toughest opponents in the NFL, it's going to be tough. But if you look at what the New England Patriots and Bill Belichick, what he's done in the past, he's going to focus on 1 week at a time. He's going to get guys like Jimmy Garoppolo, the other guys, the other players that are available, that are playing. He's going to have them prepared. He's going to have them ready to go out and do their jobs. And, you know, at the end of the day, there's nothing you can do. If this punishment stands, there's nothing you can do about it. It's all about moving forward. They're not going to dwell on the draft picks. They're not going to dwell on Tom missing 4 games. They're not going to dwell on any of that stuff. They're going to concentrate and focus on moving forward. It's all about, you know, the theme, you've heard it over and over again, on to the next game, on to the next opponent, and they have to focus all their attention on there.
Willie, I remember you telling us a story before the Super Bowl against Philly with Bill Belichick using ammunition, sort of us against them mentality, showing the Super Bowl route that the team already had planned. Is there no doubt in your mind that Bill Belichick will use that us against the world mentality now?
Well, it's always been like that, Amber. And when you talk about our first Super Bowl against the Rams, nobody gave us a chance to win that game. They said we would be losing the game by 30 points at the halftime. So that mentality still exists for that team. If there's any coach in the NFL that knows how to bring that out and know how to use that to his advantage, of course, it's Bill Belichick. But that's been the mentality of the New England Patriots since we won our first Super Bowl. I don't think that'll ever change, regardless of the success or the record or how many Lombardis or wins they have.